Yes, students, yeah, again a very good morning to everyone. So, we are going to begin the class. As I've told you last time also, we will be starting with the bridge course. Okay. So, you can write down whatever I'm doing here. Okay. I want you to write down in your fair notes. Do not write in any of the rough book for chemistry. I want you to write in the fair notes itself. Okay. In the beginning of the pages, beginning of your book. Okay. You can have these things because these points will help you, students. These are the basic things which will be like helping you to build the concept. Okay. So if you have in the first page, anytime you have a doubt, you don't have to go and dig where you have written it. Okay. In the rough book, you can just turn your pages and then refer this. Okay. So that was the reason I was telling you, you better write it in your fair notes itself. In case today you have not bought the fair notes, you don't have your chemistry book, you can copy it down in the rough notes, but then make sure that you transfer that in the chemistry notes. Okay, later on. Yeah. Okay. Now we will continue, students. Okay, we are going to start with the basic things. Okay, I'm starting with the basic in chemistry, that is about atom. Okay, so if you remember, you had this in your ninth standard. If you're able to recall, okay, about the atom. So if you remember how the atom was discovered, okay, now here you can see a picture. Okay, this picture is of Maharishi Kannad. Okay, during 500 BC, he gave the definition of atom. Okay, now according to Maharishi Kannad, what he said is, if you have a matter, okay, if there is a matter, like, I believe you know what is a matter is, correct? Everyone knows what is a matter is. Anything which has mass and occupies space, correct? Like for example, a chalk piece, a wooden piece, even we people for that matter. Okay, we are also coming under the category of matters, and there are different states of matter. They can be existing in the solid state, they can be in the liquid state, or they can be in the gaseous state. Okay, so we have different physical states of matter. So what Maharishi Kannad said is, if you have a matter and if you continuously divide this matter, okay, if I keep on dividing this matter, like imagine if I have a chalk piece with me and if I continuously break that chalk piece, finally I will end up getting that smallest particle. Okay, that smallest particle which I can't divide further, smallest particle which I cannot divide further, that was named as atom. Okay, so see, you can see here, this was so many years before. Okay, this was around 500 BC. That time it was stored. Okay, that was the definition given to atom, the smallest particle which cannot be divided further, or the smallest indivisible particle was named as atom. Okay, but later, as the advancement of technology took place, as the people started doing more and more research, when the more number of equipment started coming, they understood that this atom is not the only thing. Can you believe, students? Atom itself is very small, okay, and you are not able to see it through your naked eyes. It's not possible for us to see unless you have a sophisticated instrument. But later on, as the advancement took place, they further got to know that this atom is again further divided. Okay, this is again further divided into subatomic particles. We call them as fundamental particles of atom. Do you know what are the fundamental particles we are having for atoms? Anyone who can tell me what are the fundamental particles which they discovered later? Inside the atom also there are again small particles. What are those small particles which are present in the atom? Yes, very good, correct. Yeah, one is electrons. Yeah, good, you can answer, you can put the answer in the chat box. Electrons, protons, and then we are having neutrons. Yes, very good, correct. Okay, so that I have displayed in the next page. So you can see atom is the smallest indivisible particle. After that, they have found that this atom is further divided into subatomic particle, that is electrons, protons and neutrons. Okay, very good. So now electrons, when they found out about the electrons, they found that electrons are negatively charged. Okay, when more amount of research was done, they got to know that these electrons are negatively charged. Okay, and protons, they found that they are positively charged. Okay, protons are positively charged. And neutrons, when they wanted to check the charge of the neutrons, they didn't find them getting attracted towards any of the field. Okay, so then we can finally say that, as the name goes, okay, neutron stands for neutral here because they don't carry any charge, so they were named as neutrons. Okay, neutral. They don't carry any charge. They don't possess any charge. So here electrons are negatively charged. We can write even as minus. Okay, and protons are positively charged. We can denote like this plus sign. Okay, and neutrons, they don't carry any charge, so it will be 0 for them. There is no charge for this. Okay, now where exactly they are located? What is the place? What is the location of these subatomic particles in the atom? Atom itself is small. Inside that also we have to see where exactly they are present. So they have found that, okay, in this, you can see a center part over here. Okay, the center part you can see here. This center part consists of protons and the neutrons. Okay, so they found that protons and neutrons are present in the center, which finally was named as a nucleus. Okay, center part. In the center, protons and neutrons were found to be located. Okay, that was named as nucleus. And electrons were not found inside, they were found outside the nucleus. Okay, it is also called as the extranuclear part. This outside the nucleus, you can also call them as extranuclear part. Okay, so these electrons were found in the extranuclear part, revolving around the nucleus. Okay, so this is about the location which I discussed just now. Okay, I believe it's clear what is an atom is. The smallest indivisible particle of matter is called as atom, and the fundamental particles of atom are these three. Okay, electrons, protons and neutrons. Electrons negatively charged, protons positively charged, and neutrons are neutral by charge. So quickly you can just make a note of this. Okay, you can write about atom, the smallest indivisible particle of matter is called as atom. Okay, this is called as atom. You don't have to draw any diagram as such. Only the definitions will do. Okay, only this much is enough. Whatever I'm writing on the screen, only that much you write. If any diagrams has to be written or drawn, I will tell you. After writing the definition, you write down the fundamental particles of atom. Okay, I'll write here fundamental particles of atom. Write only these. Okay, one is electron, then you are having protons, and then you have neutrons. Only this till here. I've written the charge also at this side. Neutrons, they don't carry any charge. They don't have any charge. Okay, rest everything I've told here. This electron is negatively charged, so minus we denote, and positive for protons. You here itself then. Yeah, so now this much you got to know, correct? About atom and what are the subatomic particles. Now, when they wanted to check on the whole whether atom can get attracted to any field. Okay, so what they have found is atom was not getting attracted to any of the field. That means atom on the whole is electrically neutral, correct? So what we say is atom, okay, because they didn't find atom getting attracted to any of the field. So we say atom is electrically, this is electrically neutral. Okay, atom on the whole is electrically neutral, means atom will not be found to getting attracted to any of the electric field, neither the positive field nor the negative field. Okay, so why is it happening? Even though they contain positive charge and negative charge, still they are not getting attracted. The reason was because, okay, like example, if I'm talking about hydrogen, okay, I'm taking here hydrogen as the example. Hydrogen is the first element which is present in the periodic table, if you remember. Okay, so here, yeah, very good. Nikita has given the answer here. No, it's not neutron, it's something else. So hydrogen, okay, if I am taking, what you will find is there is one proton and you will find that there is, yeah, correct. There is one electron. Okay, so now you know proton is positively charged. So I will have one positive charge proton in the hydrogen and there is one negative charge electron in the hydrogen. So if you have like one plus charge and one minus charge, one plus and one minus will cancel one another, no? So then finally what will happen? You will end up getting no charge. Okay, 0 you will get. So 0 means there is no charge. So why is that atom is electrically neutral? That is because the number of protons present in them is equal to the number of electrons. Okay, so they will cancel one another, and on the whole you get the atom as electrically neutral. Okay, so below you can write as a note. Okay, so you can write down this as a note that atom is electrically neutral. Okay, reason I will give this side. Okay, here I'll write because the total number of protons, the total number of protons is equal to total number of electrons. Okay, because the total number of protons will be equal to electrons. So if you take any particular atom, you will find the number of protons and the electrons ratio similar. Okay, they are in 1:1 ratio. Okay, yes, very good. We'll continue then. So now here I have just placed one more example. You can see on this side. This is for carbon. Okay, carbon, you know, atomic number is 6. So you can see the distribution of electrons and the protons and neutrons. Center you can find here, there is nucleus. Okay, so here you will find there is 6 electrons, and outside you can see, 6 protons. Okay, this positive charge, 6 protons are there. And then outside you see, students, you can see here outside in this circles you can find these are the electrons which are present. Okay, and if you count the number of electron, they also, okay, will be equal to 6. So 6 protons and 6 electrons, so they will cancel each other. So carbon atom on the whole will be electrically neutral. Okay, so this is just an example, you need not write because you understood, okay, why atom is electrically neutral. Okay, now next thing is I want you all to remember the elements. Okay, there are around 20 elements, atom of different elements. Okay, 20 elements which you might have studied in your high school. So if there is anyone who can tell me 1 to 20 elements, everyone knows 1 to 20 elements. And this is important, okay, because you need to remember the number as well as the element. At least for first year, 20 elements. For next year, you can still go on. Okay, Princita can tell me 1 to 20 elements.
20 elements.
Hydrogen,
Hydrogen,
helium,
helium,
lithium,
lithium,
beryllium,
beryllium,
boron,
boron,
carbon,
carbon,
nitrogen,
nitrogen,
oxygen,
oxygen.
fluorine, argon, um, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, chlorine, chlorine.
Yes, Princita. Chlorine, then argon. Two more are remaining, no? Yes, correct. After that, there is potassium and then calcium. See, after fluorine, it was supposed to be neon, okay? Yeah, that's okay. But you tried, I'm happy about that. Yeah, so 1 to 20 elements, students, you need to remember. See, now you have enough of time for your studies. Am I audible? Just let me know. Few of you are saying my voice is breaking. Am I audible to everyone? Okay, if you have any trouble, then just log out and log in once again. Okay, you may be having a network issue. So if that is the case, just log out and log in once again. Okay, so very good. Princita has told now of the elements. So you need to remember that. You can see here I have put the table according to the way they are arranged in the periodic table. I have put that in the similar fashion. But if you want, you can write one below the other. Okay, and you should remember this with the atomic number, students. Okay, 20 elements are there. You can make a note of this. Okay, you can write down now here. First one is hydrogen. You can either draw this in the form of a table or you can remember one below the other. Okay, like this. First one will be hydrogen, and then second one will be helium. So you can even write down like this. So that is left to you. But 1 to 20 elements without shuffling them, you should be able to remember. So here hydrogen atomic number is 1. I will just write the number here. Helium is 2. Lithium is 3. Beryllium is 4. Boron is 5. Carbon is 6. Nitrogen is 7. Oxygen is 8. Fluorine is 9. Neon is 10. Then we are having sodium. Sodium atomic number is 11. Magnesium is 12. Aluminium is 13. Silicon is 14. Phosphorus is 15. Sulfur is 16. Chlorine is 17. Argon is 18. Potassium is 19 and calcium is 20. Okay. And if you see the way the symbols are written for the element, you can see here always the starting letter is a capital letter. Okay. That's according to IUPAC. Okay. There are a set of board of people who decide the rules. Okay. For these writing the name, writing the structure, everything is decided by them. So here you can see hydrogen first symbol is capital letter. Okay. Suppose if the letter gets repeated, the other element also has the same letter starting, then they use another letter, the second letter, but then that will be the small one. Okay. So you can see here for helium starts from H only. So then they have used the second letter E. Okay. So H and then E. And then we are having next lithium Li. So like that it goes on. You can see beryllium Be, then boron B, carbon is C, nitrogen is N, oxygen is O, fluorine F, neon is Ne because already nitrogen has N, so Ne. Then we are having sodium. See, in the case of sodium, students, it is not SO. Okay, many of them do this mistake. So it's not SO, it is Na because it has been derived from the Latin word natrium. Okay, natrium is the Latin name of sodium. So Na has come from there. Okay. So Na is the symbol for sodium. Magnesium Mg, aluminium Al, silicon Si, phosphorus is P, sulfur S, chlorine Cl, argon is Ar. See, potassium again, a Latin name. It's not P now. Okay, don't get confused between phosphorus and potassium. Potassium is K, phosphorus is P. Okay, and this is derived from the Latin word kalium. So K. Okay, so they have used K here. Calcium is Ca. Yes, okay, then we'll proceed. So this was atom of 20 elements, okay, different atoms of 20 elements. Now we will go for how these electrons are distributed in this atom, okay. We'll discuss about that. So if you properly observe the structure, you will find that center, okay, there is a nucleus. And then you can see these circles there, students. Okay, these are named as shells, okay. There are many shells you can see there. Okay, these are named as shells or even they are called as orbits. Okay, and in this shells and orbits where you find these red color spheres which are arranged, no, they are the electrons. So you will find these electrons are arranged in that particular shell. Okay, so this is how the distribution of the electrons are done. Center you will find in this nucleus protons and neutrons. And outside this where you can see the circles there, you will find the electrons being present. Okay. And the first shell over here, there are names which are given for this shell. The first shell is called as K shell. And the next one is called as L shell. Okay. KL. Then after that, you can go according to the alphabet. KL, then M. Then another shell if you are having. Okay. After this, if there is another shell present, then that will be named as N shell. Okay, so these shells are having a name. Okay, now here K means here N value is 1, means they are in the first shell. Okay, electrons are present in the first shell if I tell you K shell, and here N value will be 2. Okay, L shell means N value will be 2 here, and if I am telling you it is M shell, that means here N value is going to be 3. Okay, this will have N value as 3. then this will have n value as 4, and then it goes on like that. Okay, but for you maximum will be 3 or 4, not more than that. Okay, so I believe it's understood how these electrons are present and where exactly they are present. So you can see here outermost regions are there, which we call as orbit or the shells, where electrons will be revolving. Okay, and there are different names given for that. They are called as K, L, M and N shell. K means here n value is 1, L n value is 2, M n value is 3, n value over here is, n stands for the shell, in which shell exactly they are present. Okay, now how many electrons exactly can be present in this? Okay, so now they have said maximum number of electrons which can be present is given as 2n square. Okay, there is a formula given, derived after observing everything. Okay, finally they have come to a conclusion, 2n square. Okay, now if I am telling you 2n square, that means if I am talking about the first shell means n value is 1, no? You have to substitute this n value as 1 in this particular formula. Okay, so then I will get 2 into 1 square. So then the value is 2 itself. That means the maximum number of electrons you can put in the first shell is 2, not more than that. Less than this you can put. Okay, means the maximum capacity for the first shell to hold the electron is only 2. You can't put more than 2. It's like if you have the shoe box we are having, no? In that only 2 shoes can fit. You can put 1 shoe, or you can put 2, not more than that. After that you will not be able to close it. Okay, that's the maximum capacity. So like that only our shells are. Okay, maximum capacity for them to hold electron first is only 2. It's a small one. Okay, so this capacity is very less. Then if you are taking n value as 2, so then it will be 2 into 2 square. So how many it will be? 2 square is 4. 4 2s are 8. So you will have only 8 electrons fitting in the next one. Okay, then you will have n is equal to 3. So it will be 2 into 3 square. Okay, so that's 9. 9 into 2 will be 18. Okay, so this is how it goes. Then it will continue like that. I believe it's understood. Did you follow what I said just now? I told you about the presence of electron, where exactly they are present. Okay, they are present in this region, which is called as shells or orbits. Okay, and each shell has a different name. And then I spoke about the capacity of these electrons present in each and every shell. It goes according to this formula, 2n square. Okay, then I have listed this below. Now, distributing these electrons, okay, in this fashion, okay, first shell can have 2, then next 8, like that. If you're distributing, that is called as electronic configuration. Okay, this is called as electronic configuration. Okay, this distribution is called as electronic configuration. So electronic configuration is nothing but distribution of electrons. Distribution of electrons in the shell. Electrons in the shell. Okay. So you can write down now. This, if you want, you can draw and show it over there. Okay. Then it's easy, no? Just draw this diagram which I have shown here. Okay. On the screen you can see. You label them as shell and then label each and every shell. Okay, first one is called as K, then next L, M, N, and then write the number also. Then after writing that, you can write here the maximum number of electrons, maximum number of electrons possible in a shell is equal to 2n square. Okay, then you write down this. If n value is 1, maximum is 2. Okay, so first shell can have only 2. If n value is 2, then you write 8. Then like this. Yes, now we'll go for writing the electronic configuration. Okay, now see, when you are writing the electronic configuration for the different elements, this is the order you need to follow, students. Okay, I will give you this. See, first shell you have seen. Okay, 2 is the capacity. Then next is 8. And then after that it is 8. Okay, and then you are having 18, 18, and then 32. Okay, so this is the order which we are following. So in this order only you are supposed to fill. Okay, so these are the stable electronic configuration. for different elements. But then depending on the number of electrons, we can fill the electrons, okay, in the differential. But this is the maximum capacity which has been placed, 2 in the first, then 8, then 8, then 18, 18 and then 32. Okay, so like this only we are supposed to fill. So if I am talking about the first one, hydrogen, see, hydrogen atomic number is 1, no? So if I have to write electronic configuration, I will get only 1 electron in first shell. So I will have only this configuration. Now helium atomic number is 2. Okay, so only 2 electrons. So this first shell will get filled up. Okay, so 2 electrons with 2 electrons here. Then next coming to lithium. Lithium atomic number is 3. So if you're writing electronic configuration of lithium, then first shell can be having only 2. Then remaining one more electron is still remaining. That you have to put in the next shell. So it will be 2 and then 1. Okay. Then if you're going for next one, beryllium is 4. So then it will be 2, 2. Clear, no? After this, you all know how to write the electronic configuration. Boron, 5. Okay, so if it is 5, then it will be 2 and then 3, no? Yeah, so I want you all to write this electronic configuration for all the 20 elements. Okay, one below the one, you can write. Side you write electronic configuration. Okay, here. Electronic configuration. Yes, students. Yeah, you can write now by yourself. I believe you have understood how to write. So for all the elements you write, 1 to 20 elements you can write. It will be a practice for you. Now randomly if you want, I can write for few elements. In case if you are finding it difficult, okay, few of you, in case if there is difficulty, okay, I'll take random elements, I will write here. Okay, but you have to write for all the 20 elements. Now you have written no 1 to 20 elements. Side only you make one column and write electronic configuration. Yeah, so now if I'm talking about randomly I will take. See neon, if you're talking about neon, neon atomic number is 10. Then electronic configuration will be 2 and 8, correct? Okay, calcium. Yes, calcium also we will take. Calcium atomic number is 20. So 20 means how will you distribute the electrons? First shell 2. Okay. Next shell we can have 8, no? Then again third shell. See here, this is the order. First 2. This one. Then 8. Then again 8. Okay. So you will be filling in this order only. 2, 8. Then 8. After that, how many will be remaining still? See now 18 are over, no? Here 10 plus 8. 18 are over. 2 more is remaining. So this will be the configuration for calcium. Yes. Okay, 2, 8, 8, 2. Any other element you are having trouble in writing, you can tell me. Carbon. Okay, carbon is 6. Carbon atomic number is 6. So 6 means how will you write? 2 electron, first shell. Remaining is how many? 4, no? Remaining is 4. So 2 and then 4 electronic configuration for carbon. Okay, phosphorus. Phosphorus is 15. Phosphorus is 15. So 15 will be first shell 2. Next shell, okay, 8, no? Capacity is 8. And we are having more than 15 now here. Total I got 10. See, first shell 2. Next 8. I have still remaining 5. So 2, 8, 5. Phosphorus will be this. Yeah, very good. Correct. 2, 8, 5. Anything else? So electronic configuration is clear to everyone. Any doubt, students? Now I'll give you a few minutes for you all to ask anything. If you have any trouble in understanding any of these concepts which I discussed, you should clarify it now and then. Okay. Don't pile up the things and keep. Anything you have to ask? Yeah, subshells, you'll be learning that. Now we don't have subshells, no? Correct. Subshells are there. Now I'm just discussing whatever you have learned. Okay, so advancing everything you'll be learning in this first year. Okay, so that will be your structure of atom chapter we are having. So that time I will discuss. Okay. In detail, we will go to subshells and then distribution of electron in the subshells. Okay, and the way you are supposed to arrange that electron, that also you are having there. 2, 8, 8, 18, 32. The last one is still incomplete, okay? So we don't put anything there. The last shell is there, no? Order is this, okay? I have written here, you can, yeah, whatever you wrote till here, okay, 32. The next one is there, no? The next one is still incomplete, okay? So we don't write there anything. Yes, very good. Okay, now anything to ask? Anyone else has any doubt? Okay, I believe then it's clear. We will wind up, students. We will continue in the next class, okay? So be thorough with whatever has been done. Yes, students, yeah.